This is question 50 for the practice final. This particular question is not a standard trinomial. It is because we have this to the fourth power, which means we're going to have up to 4 answers. Trinomials, we typically find 2 answers when if it's in like a proper form. So we need to make this look in proper form. Notice that 4 is double of 2. Since it's double, we could say that every time we see an x squared, we're going to replace it with a letter. Now, typically the book uses the letter U, so we're going to go ahead and use that here. So if every time I see x squared I type a U, that means -5 should have a U here to represent the x squared, right? Plus 4 equals 0. Now, the first one is 4. So 2 and 2 make 4. In other words, if I had 2 U's, I would multiply and get that 4 right back up. Now, this is a proper trinomial, so let's go ahead and solve this one. Now, at this point, we just have 4, so we have 1 times 4 is equal to 4. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. And because we have a negative, both will be negative. Okay? At this point, this particular question, we can't go directly into an answer. We actually do want to kind of break them apart. So we're going to still use the opposites, but we're going to say that U is equal to +1, because remember we know that our positives have the opposite of a negative, and when solving for 0, all we have to do is use our opposites. We also know that U is equal to +4. Again, our opposite of these two numbers, we apply and get our positives. The reason we do this at one point, or singly, is because we have to remember that every time we see a U, we can replace it with x squared, right? Because that's what we initially did. So we're going to undo what we did, and we're going to have x squared is equal to 1, and x squared is equal to 4. Now at this point, we know that we have a power, and our opposite, again, of our power is a square root in this case. Square power, square root. So x is equal to positive or negative version of the square root of 1, and x is equal to positive negative square root of 4. Both of these are solvable, so we end up our answers as positive -1, positive -2. And at this point, what we can do is this particular question has it listed as a number of answers, and we're going to just put them in order. So -2, -1, +1, +2, and that is what x can be. Any one of these 4 numbers, we will get our answer.